our dear brother's death the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on thee, together with remembrances of ourselves. Now, our sometime sister and our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with one auspicious and one drooping eye, with mirth and funeral and dirge in marriage, taken to wife. For all our thanks. Now, my cousin Hamlet and my son,
Little more than kin and less than kind.
how is it that the clouds still hang on thee?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, 'tis common.
If it be, why seem it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone with my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, nor the dejected habit of the visage, nor the fruitful river in the eye. This, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly, these indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have within which passeth show, these but the trappings and suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father. That father lost his. And the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. Fie! 'Tis a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature whose common theme is death of fathers. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as a father, for let the world take note. You are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart towards you.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would thaw, melt and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on fie, 'tis an unweeded garden which grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not 2, not so much. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr. So loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. And yet, within a month, frailty, thy name is woman. A little month or ere those shoes were old with which he'd follow my poor father's body. Like Niobe, all tears, why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Why she, a little month, almost wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Yeah, here, Laertes! Aboard, for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory see that thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought as act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull the palm with entertainment of each new hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in it, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, while borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night to day thou canst then be false to no man. There, thy blessing season is to me.
Well, someday do I take my leave now?
The time invites, go, your servants tend.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou spirit of health or goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from heaven or blast from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I'll speak to thee. I'll call thee king, father, Hamlet, royal Dane, oh answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones hearsed in death have burst their sermons. Why the sepulchre wherein we saw thee quietly interned has oped his ponderous and marble jaws to cast thee up again. Say why, wherefore, what should I do?
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
And thy father's spirit, doomed for certain turn to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could a tale unfold whose lightest words would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks, and each particular hair to stand on end like quills upon a fretful porcupine. If thou ever didst thy dear father love, revenge is most foul and unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it, so that I with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
I find the act. 'Tis given out that sleeping within my orchard, a serpent stung me, so the whole year of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know thou, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle!
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, but soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of cursed Hebanon in a vial, and in the portions of my ear did pour the leprous distilment. Thus was I, sleeping by your brother's hand, of life, a queen, a crown, at once dispatched, unhouseled, disappointed, unannealed. Oh, horrible, horrible, most horrible! Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. Fare thee well at once, the glow will show the matin to be near, and begins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu, adieu, remember me.
Remember thee? Aye, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee? Yea, from the table of my memories I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, all saws of books, all pressures past that youth and observation copied there. And thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Yes, by heaven. O villain, villain, smiling, damned villain! Meet it is my tables I have set it down, that one may smile and be a villain. At least I am sure it may be so in Denmark. Now, uncle, now to my word. It is adieu, adieu. Remember me. I have sworn it.
How does my good lord?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Well, I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir. To be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a god-kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I do, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not at first. He is far gone indeed. I will speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
The matter that you read, my lord.
Slander, sir, for the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, that their eyes are purging plum tree gum and thick amber, that they have a plentiful lack of wit, all together with most weak hams. All of which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to be thus set down. For yourself, sir, should be as old as I am, if like a crab you could go backwards.
Though this is madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
That is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. Property that madness sometimes hits on, that sanity and reason cannot be so easily delivered of. I will take my leave of him and contrive a meeting between him and my daughter. My honored lord, I most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I would more willingly part with all, except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Fare thee well, my lord.
Tedious old fool!
My most honored lord, my most dear lord,
My excellent good friend, how dost thou?
as the indifferent children of the earth, happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her favors?
Faith, her private suite.
In the secret parts of fortune, almost true, she is the strumpet. But tell me, what's the news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Ha, then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question you more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the whole world one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then, 'tis none to you, for there is nothing neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself king of infinite space. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you here at Elsinore?
No business, my lord, but to visit you.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you, and know, my dear friends, my thanks are too dear a halfpenny. Is it a free visitation? Is it of your own inclining? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak.
What shall we say, my lord?
Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for. There is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you, by the rights of our fellowship, by the constancy of our youth, by our ever-preserved love, by what more dear a beholder could charge you withal, be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
My lord, we were sent for.
I shall tell you why, and so shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth. Forgone all custom of exercise, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition, that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, look you, the air, this brave o'erhanging firmament fretted with golden fire, why, it appears nothing more to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and movement how expressed and admirable, in action how like an angel, in apprehension how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive. We coted them on the way, and hither they come to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall be welcome.
And we're rolling.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep we say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep perchance to dream, aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorn of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whence bore no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. Thus the native hue of resolution is sickled over with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. But soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons, be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. How does thy honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have long longed to redeliver. I pray thee, take them now.
No, not I. I never give you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost? Take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind.
I did love you once.
Indeed, you may be believed so.
You should not have believed me.
I
I loved you not.
I am the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, and yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should fellows such as I do, crawling between the earth and heaven? We are errant knaves all, believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. If thou dost marry, I'll give you this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. To a nunnery go. Or, if thou wilt needs marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery go, and quickly too. Farewell!
O heavenly powers, restore him!
Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. Pray I cannot, though inclination be sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent, and like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in these sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? But oh, what form of prayer may serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, for I'm still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. Can one be pardoned and retain the offense? Oh, wretched state! Oh, bosom black as death! O lime stool that, struggling to be free, art more engaged. Help, angels, make essay. Bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel, be soft in the sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is praying, and so I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so I am revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven? Oh, this is hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread. Am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No up sword and no thou a more horrid rent, when he is drunk asleep, or in the incestuous pleasures of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it. Then trip him, so that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Hey hoo, dearie doo, hey hoo, dearie doo, hey.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it to him a property of easiness.
Faith, even so, the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. There's a skull now. That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jousted to the ground as before Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. It might be the pate of a politician which this ass now overreaches. One that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Faith, and now my lady worms chapless and knocked about the mazzard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, and we had the trick to see it. I'll speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
I believe it be thine, for thou liest in it.
You do not lie in it, therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and still it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir, till the way again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For none either.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute this knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days of the year, I came to it that our last king Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell? Every fool can tell. It was the very day young Hamlet was born. He who is mad is sent into England.
Ay, Mary, why was he sent into England?
'Cause he was mad. He shall recover his wits there. And if he don't, it is no great matter there.
Ay, Mary, why?
It 'twill not be seen in there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. Here's a skull now. This skull has lain in the earth 23 years. A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. This skull, sir, was your skull,
This?
the king's jester.
Let me see. Alas, poor York. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and yet how gored in my imagination it is. My gorge rims at it. Here hung those lips I've kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning? Quite chapfallen? Get thee to my lady's chamber. Tell her that her paint an inch thick to this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing. Do you think Alexander smelled of this fashion in the earth?
Even so.
And smelt so? Ha!
Even so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Might not one trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
Faith, but to follow him thither with modesty enough, and likelihood to lead it, as thus, Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust, of dust is earth, of earth we make loam, and why not of that loam whereto he was converted, might it not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth which kept this world in awe, might patch a wall to expel the winter flaw.
How now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet.
From Hamlet. Laertes, you shall hear them. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked upon your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes. Hamlet. What should this mean?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character. Naked, and in the postscript here he says alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live to tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, and how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so you'll not rule me to peace.
To thine own peace. Now, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, and his mother will uncharge the practice and call it an accident.
I'll be ruled, my lord. The rather you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You've been talked of since your travels much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for a quality wherein they say you shine. Not 2 months since, here was a gentleman of Normandy. He gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especially. It would be a sight indeed, he swore, if one could match you. This report did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could do nothing but wish and beg your son coming over to play with him. Now, out of this,
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you, or he like a painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but to the quick of the ulcer. Hamlet returned, shall know you are come home. What would you do to show yourself your father's son in deed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize, but good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. We'll set on those who'll put a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you, and put you in remiss and fine together, a wager on your heads. He, being remiss and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice requite him for your father.
I'll do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal, but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood. No cataplasm so rare can save the thing from death, that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, and if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think on this. This project should have a back, or second, if this should blast and prove. Let me think. I have it. When in your motions you are hot and dry, and make your bouts more violent to that end, he will call for drink. I'll have prepared a chalice for the nonce, whereupon, but sipping, our purpose may hold there.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think it. Since he went to France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds, but thou wouldst not think how ills I'll hear about my heart. But it is no matter.
Nay, if your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall the repair hither and say you are unfit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be not to come, then it will be now. And if it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. And since no man has thought of what he leaves, was it to leave betimes?
Come, Hamlet, take this hand from me.
Sir, I pray you pardon me. In this audience let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your goodwill, that I have shot mine arrow over a house, and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive would stir me to my revenge. But I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Come, give us the foils.
Come on, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance your skill shall like a star in the darkest night stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils all have a length.
Aye, my lord.
Set me the stoops of wine upon the table. If Hamlet should give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup in union he shall throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have won. Let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoneer without, the cannons to the heavens to the earth. The king dunks to Hamlet. Come, begin, and you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come on, my lord.
A hit.
No.
Judgment.
A hit, a palpable hit.
Well, again, stay. Give me drink, Hamlet. This pearl is thine.
Sit it by a while. I'll play this bout first. Another hit, what say you?
A touch I do confess.
Our son shall win.
The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Gertrude, do not drink.
Pardon me, my lord. I will.
It is the poison cup. It is too late.
My lord, I shall hit him now.
I do not think it.
And yet it is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes, you but dally. I pray you, pass hither with your best violence. I'm afeard to make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on!
Nothing, neither way.
How about you now?
Part them, they are incensed.
Nay, come again.
Look to the queen there. How does it, Hamlet? How does it, my lord?
As a woodcock to mine own spring, I'm justly served with mine own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, 'tis the drink, dear Hamlet. I've been poisoned.
Oh, villainy ho! Let the door be locked. Treachery, seek it out.
'Tis here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. In thee there's not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned, the king is to blame.
The point? In venom too, then venom to thy work.
Oh, yet defend me, friends, I am but hurt.
There, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. Oh, Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more antique Roman than a Dane. Yet there's some liquor left.
As thou'rt a man, give me the cup. I'll have it by heaven. Oh, Horatio, what a wounded name. things standing thus after me. Oh, the potent poison quite overcrows my spirit. I die Horatio. The rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.